You are listening to the OurView Podcast, where we aim to educate, raise awareness, and change the tone of conversation about disabilities. Every week, we bring you episodes that are centered around topics related to disabilities. As the host, it is my hope that you are not just inspired by these stories that are shared, but that you put some action behind your inspiration to do something that improves the lives of those who live with disabilities. I thank you, our loyal listeners, for your support and remind you to subscribe to our YouTube channel at OurView for Life and to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts to tell us what you enjoy most about the podcast. Let's get into this conversation. I would like to welcome everyone back to another episode of the OurView Podcast, where we aim to educate, raise awareness, and change the tone of conversation about disabilities. I am back with a brand new episode today with my guest, Emily Kranking, and I am so excited to have you on with me today. So, Emily, thank you for joining me.
And thank you for having me. We just
Yes.
had a really fun talk before this. So, this is getting started already.
But yeah, we did. We had a great conversation before we started the official podcast question. So thank you again for joining me, and I'm happy to have you and for you to share your time and your story with us all today. I'm really excited for everyone to hear this episode about you. So, can you start off the conversation by sharing with us who you are, some fun things that you like to do, and anything else you want to share? And also, can you share with us what is cerebral palsy and how it impacts your life?
Yeah, so my name is Emily Kranking. I am an actress and a advocate. I'm only in one movie, which is a really big one, called Best Summer Ever. It is the first movie musical showing all disabled people. Unfortunately, it came out during and after the pandemic, so it might not be as known to other people. But we got really good success. Like we got like a rave review from New York Times. Hulu bought the movie like 3 months later. So we had a really good track record with that. We didn't even want people to watch it because we didn't talk about it more. And about you or about teaching the narrative for disabilities, best summer ever is a big one. And and especially as a girl who wants to be a musical theater actress, I just performed at the Kennedy Center a few months ago. I'm also a disability activist. I'm currently in Glasgow going for my master's in disability studies. So I worked at Disability, which I'm still close with. The DC, the Environmental Disabilities Network Council. I just recently had a brief job at National Disability Rights Network, and I'm applying to a few cool places, and hopefully, out of Glasgow, I have a really big advocacy career. I put up a Nemo though, as much as an actress, because as a disabled person, as a human in general, we are all here to call for help, to help for others. Like, Arthur, you do amazing stuff. Uh, you run like a company workers a playground. You do schools with disabled students. You're just talking how my twin sister is a special education teacher. And so you do that, and and meanwhile, that's how I'm in Glasgow to learn more of the world's issues. And I'm hoping to use my acting and my hopeful theater career to spread the word on these issues.
That's so fantastic. It's really great what you're doing, and we're going to talk about the movie in a little bit. That was I had a chance to watch it the other day. So yeah, so we'll yeah, so I'm excited to talk with you about that in a little bit. Um, so one of the things that you shared with me is that you have cerebral palsy. And can you share with us what that is, just for those who are listening who may not know what it is?
Yeah, of course. So, cerebral palsy is a first you have a brain bleed, which you get from birth or some traumatic accident, and that is pretty rare. It's usually birth. I had a very interesting birth situation, and that's like I got my cerebral palsy. So it affects your muscles, it affects your hands, your legs, your feet. It can affect your voice, and I'm the lucky person who had a voice being affected by cerebral palsy. I have an accent, and for me, besides my voice, I my right side is weaker than the left, so I walk with a limp. I have a tiny white arm, a tiny white hand, so my hand is like more crooked. I just actually have done my second surgery to fix to make my hand stronger and stop busting. And like I told you just now, I'm having Botox tomorrow on my legs and on my arm to make my leg and my arms feel stronger. Cause if I don't go to physical therapy, if I don't stretch, if I don't do Botox or any exercises, my body will zip up and I won't be able to move it. And actually, I'm trying to feel it on my foot. Recently, when I had my brief job at NDON, I was walking every day with the metro, and I was carrying a pretty heavy back of my laptop. My foot was hurting, and it would like got to be paralyzed. So I was like, oh my god, I am beginning to lose my ability to walk. And when I used to go to children's until I was 21. And the doctor told me, oh yeah, you will lose your ability to walk someday if you don't do A, B, or C. And, 20-year-old me was like, yeah, I did. That's never happened. But now this year, plus like 7 years later, it's like, oh, Cosworth, I'm so next year after my sister's wedding, I am gonna like do my surgery on my foot to preserve my walking. Now, because of my cerebral palsy, I do have a electric wheelchair that I use when I travel. And a few years ago, I actually worked at Disney World where I would be standing um, for hours on end. My body's not built for that, so I used a wheelchair to sit on it.
Mhm.
So if I did my life with a wheelchair, that would not be a bad thing. I'm still productive, and it would still give me quality of life, but I really like walking. I have stars, you know. I I I just like to walk.
Yeah, yeah. I love what you said though, that, it's the wheelchair still would help you, and it had helps you, and it gives you a good quality of life, but you enjoy walking. That's with me. I wear leg braces and use crutches, and I walk for short distances. But walking for long periods of time, it can get very tiring very quickly. So if I want to, have energy to last me throughout the day, if I am at a place like Disney World, or at the mall, or I live close to Philadelphia and New York City. I'm in New Jersey. So if I want to spend the day in the city with friends, and I want to be able to last for a long time and have energy, yeah, using my wheelchair is the only way for me to go. And it really allows me to do so much more that I probably that I know I wouldn't be able to do walking for for a whole day or for a few hours. So thank you so much for sharing that. And
Yeah.
yeah, and in your in answering those first two questions, you mentioned about your sister and having a wedding, but you are actually a quadruplet.
Yes. That's how I got my cerebral palsy. I had three roommates living with me pre-birth. So but I was eating too much. My parents got a buy one get three for free deal. They wanted one more kid for our big sister. No, no. They got four more. My
Wait.
my dad. I didn't know this till after my dad passed away. He's no longer with us sadly. He was a police officer, a good one. He's a good police officer.
Mhm.
Don't, and so he took the night shifts to make extra money. And one night, right after mom, he found out my mom's having quadruplets. He poked in the middle of the night to his friends saying, "There's four of them, Marty. Four of them."
So you also talked about that you are an actress, and you said musical theater is your like one of your passions, right? That's really cool.
Yes.
Yeah. So can you share with us what made you become interested in becoming an actress? And how did you choose that career path? And yeah, what got you into that? That's always something I'm interested in as well.
But what is so funny is when we were kids, my parents put us to all the friends' activities. Like the kids do soccer, we do soccer, they do basketball, we do basketball, but our girlfriends did theater. We did not do theater. They never asked us about theater. They took us to their place. But and I was like engrossed by it, but they never ever asked that. And around that time, because of my cerebral palsy, also developmental disability, I never thought about asking my parents to do theater. Because again, my cerebral palsy, and I assumed, oh, we saw A, B, and C do theater, so they would ask us. When I was a kid, I was waiting for them to ask me about theater. Nothing till when we were in sixth grade. My Catholic school brought back the theater program. So when my mom asked, "Hey, you guys want to do theater?" I was yes. You finally ask. Thank you. So I so as soon as I went to the audition, the auditorium audition for the school play, I immediately knew that was when I belong, and I've never really stopped doing it since. And actually, I was a 2000s kid. So the Disney Channel was a very, very big part of culture. You remember Hannah Montana and
Hmm.
Miley Cyrus. You remember how big that was.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to do theater. I wanted to do TV, which was a very easy no for my parents. They were, they were realistic. So they were like, go to school, go to college, go to on time, get a job, get married, have kids, and happily ever after. So it was like, hey, I'm an actress. No. But God bless my dad. Disney Channel did auditions just from my home. So I really wanted to see what if I I wrote a letter to my parents to see if they could take me. And my dad took me. He's like, if this is what you really want, it makes you shut up about acting to see that you won't get in. That was really his attitude. And because I love you so much, I take you. So he did. And he was really sweet about it. He was truly the best. And when my two sisters became mother, they mother for a while, he took them to their photo shoots and fashion shows locally as well. So he was like not a theater person, not a mother person. Well, I love you. I can see that this makes you happy. I don't want you to stop doing it after a while. I'm good. But actually, after he died of his cancer, I got best summer ever. Literally 4 months later. So
Wow.
it was like really a time I was saying, okay, I'm an angel now. I might know something because I'm with God. God, I'm just chilling, doing whatever in heaven. So here, I can give you power. The power so here's best summer ever. And I do still see my dad giving me blessings in my life. And Gambit is one of my blessings that I got from hard work and God and my dad.
Yes, I am so happy you shared all of that story, and I I I love acting. I love movies. I love theater. I like I said, I live in New Jersey, so I often would go to New York and see Broadway shows and things. I'm looking forward to getting back to doing that soon. Um, but I loved how you said, you know, they had you all do everything else. You did sports and you did other things, and then you were like, but wait, I want to do acting. And then when you tried it and you felt like you found your place.
Yeah, and it was like, hey guys, I'm not studying theater in college. No, absolutely not. My parents were like, you are not doing theater. You do not, you don't know what you can do with theater. So I'm like, okay, fine, communications.
Yeah, and that's great that that you stuck with it though, and you kept going for it. And as you said, like after a while, it took them a while, but your dad came around and said like, okay, if that's what you want to do, like let's make it happen, and we'll do it. And then to see what your dedication and your commitment to it has shown to prove and to make happen, that you had your movie, and you connected with the Gamut Agency, and just it's just really great. And can you share with us a little bit more about the Gamut group,
Yeah.
and what they do, and how they've helped you, find some roles and things for your acting career?
Yeah, so first of all, through Gambit, I have a secret thing on Wednesday evening, which I'm very excited for. And actually, while I'm in town, I'm seeing Kimberly at Kimbo right before I do it. So I have a little theater pit stop before going to my thing at 4:30. So I'm very fortunate to have the blessings.
Oh,
And
that's great.
Gambit, speaking of Broadway, A Christmas Carol was on Broadway. Not the one that's coming with Thursday Mays, but a different one. And the Tiny Tims, both of the boys had cerebral palsy. They were the first ones ever to be on Broadway. And my friend Greg was just on Broadway with Cost of Living. I just saw him. I don't know if you saw it,
No.
but between the shows, I was invited to meet the two boys backstage. So I got to meet them. I got to thank them for bringing us to the stage, to the room, and how they're gonna change the world by being the first artist to step for palsy, especially in a world that is so legendary and so iconic. And one of the moms was like, "Oh yeah, his management is Gamut, and that's how he got the audition. So
Wow.
he introduced me. Jay's mom introduced me to Mindy. So I got in right away, but unfortunately, I got I got time with them right before COVID. So I didn't get any auditions for a year with them because of Gimlet. And it's so hot. And then doing that, my friend Elizabeth, who I work with on Best Summer Ever, she became a talent agent. So a manager. So my friend Elizabeth is now my manager with Dinan and Minty. And actually, they're trying to get me a national tour for Broadway shows on Broadway. So they all really good. Like they do whatever they can to help you to reach your dreams. Like, for God's sakes, one of my first auditions with them was a fill-in on a Disney Channel animated show. So
Wow.
that was, yeah. So I'm like, when I got that breakdown, I was like, God, you guys are literally the coolest. Like, seriously, I did not get it. To audition for that character, and then the other animated characters, like 2 months ago, I had an audition for Nick Jr. And this is such a blessing. Like Denali, Elizabeth, and Mindy are fantastic, and they got me the one way for dreams, and I'll do that. I will be an ambassador for the place I model for. So Gambit
Wow.
is literally to Jesus Christ and a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, they as you just mentioned, the Runway of Dreams is the fashion show that the Gamut had put on with disabled models and
Yeah,
adaptive clothing during New York Fashion Week. Like it's amazing to see, and it's so good to see and to hear that so many um, high-end clothing designers are incorporating adaptive clothing
yeah,
into their fashion designs now. It's really really great, and it's much needed because there are all types of different disabilities and people have different abilities. So to have a shoe that they can put on that they don't have to tie, that they can just
oh
use a
yeah,
Velcro strap, but it's still fashionable and it doesn't look like somebody's grandfather's shoe. It's that's really great. Or to have a instead of zippers, they have, I know a lot of shirts now come with the magnetic buttons, so they just snap in and they automatically close, so they don't have coats that don't have zippers, and shirts with buttons. It's like things have come such a long way, and it's so great to see. And as I mentioned to you before, I did watch the New York Fashion Week model runway show. A friend of mine who was also on the podcast before, Amanda, she was in the show
yeah,
as well. Yeah, yeah, Amanda Clark. She was in the show. So that's how I ended up hearing about it first, because she was posting about it, that she would be involved with it. And it's just, like I said, it's just great that they are creating spaces and opportunities for people with disabilities and getting us out there in front of the world. So it's
yeah.
yeah, it's
And
really really great to see. So, to wrap up our conversation, which has been, it's been part of the conversation the whole time, your
yeah,
movie that you were in, Best Summer Ever. Like I said, I did watch it the other night. What's today? Today is Monday, so I watched it. I think that was Friday night or maybe Thursday. I don't remember what day. I don't remember. I don't know what day it is now, right now. So
I know, like who knows now?
it's not even, it's just about 5 o'clock and it's dark outside.
I woke up and I thought it was Tuesday. I'm like, oh wait, I did it this morning. It's Monday.
Right. It's already dark outside. It's 5 o'clock. It's like I don't know what day or time it is,
I
but
know.
but the movie Best Summer Ever, as you said, it is available on Hulu. So make sure you watch it. The cast is primarily the main characters all have disabilities, it seemed. And that is something that you don't see. You don't see, and they're actually people who live real life with disabilities. They're not actors playing people with disabilities, which a lot of shows do a pretty decent job of this. However, there are actors and actresses that live every day in their real life with disabilities who would love to play these roles on TV and in your movies. So, like, let's make that happen a little bit more often. That would be great. One of the shows I love is it's called a million little things.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, and the guy, he was I think he was in an accident and he became paralyzed. um
On the
and
show,
I
live.
yeah, and I understand, like, the story, because he had the accident, so he ended up becoming a wheelchair user. um and the good doctor, that doctor there, Sean Murphy, he has autism, but he's an actor playing someone with autism. It's like it's nice that is represented on TV, and at the same time, it would be great if they could find actual actors who live with disabilities that are to play these roles. One of my favorite people who I have become friends with over the last few years, Ali Stroker. She seeing her, like, move from Broadway to now, she's been in a few movies, she's been on TV shows, and whenever she is on something, I have friends that'll text me like, "Oh my gosh, Allie's on Blue Bloods,"
Yeah,
or
me too, me
something. And
too, yeah.
yeah, so it's just really great to see. So can you, I said all of that to say, can you share with us what your experience was working on the movie Best Summer Ever, and just share with us a little bit about the movie?
Yeah, but it was literally the very first professional thing I ever gotten. There was no open call on Facebook. They're like, hey, this camp in Vermont, this film camp starting to do an actual movie with disabled people, so come and apply. And I was like, okay, it was a movie camp. You're saying it's a weird movie, but yeah, it's a movie camp. What is this? Is this gonna be a cute movie for your grandma? Or is this a fancy movie term with, I don't know. I was new back then, so I'm like, don't know what this is, but sure, why not? So I did it with the movie, and 2 weeks later, they're like, hey, we were actually done with the script, but we're not doing this in so much. We want to write you a lead character just for you. Can you come over to New York next week to read the word out loud? I'm like, oh, wait, really? Wait, I thought you were done watching the movie. Yeah, we know. But you know the characters. Yeah. But I was oh recorded. Yeah. But you want me to be the character. Yeah. Uh okay, yeah. So I went I read the wall. Then then the next night, 2 nights later, they're like, "Yeah, you got the part." Spoiler,
Wow.
you got the part that was written for you. so so it was the first movie. It was in Vermont. I spent 2 weeks like living in a camp because there was actually a camp, and actually the camp that you see in the movie is the camp in real life. So
Oh,
they had no
wow.
problems God searching for that camp in the beginning. So then they went all around town, like they went to their high school 10 minutes away to film the school. The pizza place where my first scene was, that was like 10 minutes away. ready to ride the big number, the big town number, 10 minutes away. So it was a very, very close, intimate scene. And the very first thing I filmed actually was the finale. And I just
Oh,
cried on, and I just cried on set because I'm like, wow, I'm living my dream. There's this movie with all these able people. Somebody could just tweet about it. It is really happening. Then, so it was just a very, very surreal experience because it was the first, because when I was in other shows in theater, they knew I was disabled and reached me like a disabled person. Like, I actually, on the morning of my callback, I had just quit for a play during Tech Week because the director was treating me very horribly. Like, the first thing he told me is, oh, you have leg braces, but you have to do. And that was a big red ass flag to quit. And then he just yelled at me, called me disaster the night before. So I'm
oh,
like, yeah, I don't care. This is like a week. You're an asshole. Peace out. Yeah, I ran to do my. Which you do not do, by the way. But again, we're turning to recognize our society. Oh, you should quit being an asshole. So I guess I read nothing now. So, but if over here, in West Summer Ever, I'm just a person. I did my own stunt. For the spoiler alert, I break my leg in the movie. My arm in the movie. I did that stunt 33 times.
oh,
And so they're like treating me like as a equal person, and it was just incredible, and it was so rewarding. It was a 3 year process. We did like research. We had a last minute song. I came to Boston to record the soundtrack for
wow,
iTunes. It was just amazing, but of course, the longer we took, sooner COVID came. So we were going to
right,
premiere at the big South by Southwest Film Festival. We were going to do that weekend. So when I got a week before that was going to happen, I came home. Then all of a sudden I got text messages like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, what? Then on TV, breaking news, South by Southwest is canceled for the first time
oh,
over COVID. Because it's funny, because I got news that we were going to South by Southwest. I thought, this is way too good to be true. And it was too good to be true.
oh
So,
no.
so yeah,
But
that was a fun experience.
I loved it. It had some music in it, and it was, it was really really fun. It looked like you all had a lot of fun doing it, and
We
it's
did.
really interesting to hear how you said it was, you weren't like on a movie stage sound set or sound stage or anything. You were actually there
Oh.
in the town and filming in real places. So that's always that's really cool to hear.
Yeah, when we started waiting to ride, that was literally the best night of our lives because we literally closed the whole town for it. The other background dancers were not just our campers, they
Mhm.
were literally just random ass people from the town. They were like, oh, you mean a movie? Let me be in there. So they showed up at like 4 o'clock to do the choreography. Then we have pizza for dinner. Then we just have fun doing it. And being ready to ride was, I was not in it. It was, well, I was in a tiny part of it, but it got cut out of the movie. It was just a blast.
That's great. Yeah, it's again, it's available on Hulu. So if you're listening to this podcast, check it out. Best summer ever. It was really really cool to see so many people with disabilities like in lead roles in a movie. Just having fun and enjoying themselves, and it just like I said, it looked like you all had a lot of fun
We did.
filming the movie. I just have one last question, and this was not
Yeah.
on the original question list, but because we brought
Okay.
up your love of musical theater, is there a favorite show that you have, a favorite Broadway show or
Yeah.
anything?
Funny story. Hairspray. And it's funny because I went to the open call audition literally right before COVID. And the auditions, it's a long, long, long story. But like, long story short, it was a shit show. I was one of the line. And because of the long story, the front line got moved to the back of the line, and also when the back got moved to the front. So almost when I was waiting for 5:30 in the morning, we all got kicked out. And the people who
Oh,
just arrived got seen. And we
oh
were
wow.
like, dude, you just got seen. So a hairspray being Penny in a hairspray would be a dream, but I'm really hoping to be the first disabled nurse on Broadway in Wicked, and actually, I was the very lucky few hundred who was chosen to audition for the movie back in May. So that
Oh,
was a blessing. And now I know the song a bit better than in May. I'm really working my butt off to be Nessa Ross, and actually, the open calls are wicked for the Broadway show was the day of my surgery, so I couldn't
oh,
go to it. But for me, I'm working my butt off. I have the sheet music over here and
oh
everything.
wow.
So there's in anything, like I don't mean any musical artists want you to know speech disabilities or a thing. And just because I sound different doesn't mean I cannot sing. I have a voice
Mm-hmm.
and I want to share it to the world. And that's why the Kennedy Center, I sang Wicked and Chicago and once one of Madras. It was a blessing because I got to share that part of me in the world without no shame. People knew I was disabled and they accepted my voice and celebrated. And that's why we had to normalize disabled music video actresses not just on wheelchairs, but also with like speech
Mm-hmm.
disability. Cause one voice is not the same.
Wow, that's really good and so true. Wow. And Wicked is the only show that I've seen twice. Um I did see
Yeah,
Wicked twice. Um and Hairspray, oh gosh, what's the last song? You Can't Stop the Beat. Love that
yeah,
song. Um love that song. But yeah, Wicked, I saw it once in New York, and then the touring show came to Philadelphia, and I saw it there as well. And it's great. And I'm actually seeing. Um, we're recording this November 14th. My birthday is November 25th. On the 26th, we're going to see the touring show of the Tina Turner musical that's coming to Philadelphia.
I saw it with Adrena Warden. The show's great. You would enjoy it.
Oh wow. Yeah, Adrienne
Yeah,
Warren, she was I was hoping to go see it in New York, but then COVID happened. Um
yeah.
and the week that it closed, the week it closed in New York, I had to my niece had her going away party. She was going to college, so I couldn't miss that.
Oh,
So I was like, "Oh, I'll go to New York and see it on the closing, the closing weekend." I was like, "No, not can't do it." But
yeah.
yeah, so a group of 35 of us is actually going to see it.
Oh,
Yeah, with the nonprofit I work for, I did
nice.
a fundraiser with them for my birthday, and had
Oh,
35 people that are going, family and friends, to go see the show on Saturday the 26th in the afternoon. So we're So, Emily, thank you so much for your time tonight and sharing your story. And
Yes.
I really appreciated your story because it really shows that no matter what we might be up against, whether we have a disability or some other challenge, and everybody has challenges and things that they face in life every day, but you stuck with it. You stuck with your dream and your goal and your mission of becoming an actress, and you're like really achieving amazing things right now. And I'm really excited to see where you are headed in the future. I know you have some great plans, and I'm excited to see I'm excited to see them come true, and your dreams come true for you. So thank you so much um,
Mm.
for sharing your story, and I know this will definitely be a great story for others to hear, and to just be encouraged to reach for their goals and their dreams in life. So thank you again, and I look forward to talking with you and working with you
Yeah.
again in the future.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for your work, cause you're making the world a better place. You're the ones that are going to talk about the playgrounds and schools and so on. So thank you for doing your work, making the world a better place.
Yes, thank you for that. It's with living with a disability, I'll be 41 on my birthday. So to live with a disability my whole life, I've seen a lot of I sound very old when I said that. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Um, but I've seen a lot of things, and I've seen a lot of improvements in the way that people with disabilities are treated, and how we are how we're treated. I've seen a lot of changes, a lot of good things that have happened, and I know that a lot of good things are ahead, and I just want to play my part and do my part of helping to make those changes happen by, hosting a podcast and sharing stories about disabilities. And it's just really great to have an opportunity to talk with people like yourself, and to, for you to share your story. So thank you.
Yeah, I mean, God, you must have been like 9 when the ADA
Yeah.
came out. So you literally have grown up with the world being so different from disability, how people been treated. So you've seen a lot. I've been very privileged that my schools have helped me, been monitoring me to Special Olympics, surround me with disabled peers who has been supported from the disability from the very first day. So so you've seen a lot more than I do. So thank you for sharing your story.
Yes, yes, thank you. I am and I know that sharing about your disabilities, for a lot of people, it's not easy. It's very traumatizing for some people, and I definitely understand that. And for me, I feel like by sharing my story, I know we some people don't like to be called an inspiration to others. I understand that as well. I don't mind as long as people do
Me
something
too.
with it.
Exactly. Like for me, I don't mind. I love being called an inspiration, but only if it's like, oh, I can be an artist because of her. Or, oh, I can cast this person because I seen this girl to do it. Oh, if I can change, if I can do this because she did that. It's not about thing. I don't know. It's not like I'm a disabled girl walking and taking a shower. Like that one time someone said that to me, and it was awkward AF. So I don't mind it, but others don't do mine, and that is okay. Either way, it's okay. Where we can
Right.
go to
Yeah, my thing is, what am I inspiring you to do? Are you doing something with that
exactly.
inspiration? What are you doing with that inspiration? Are you are you making change in your community, in your neighborhood, at your job, or at your school? If you're in school, what are you doing to help those with disabilities to live a more um, accessible life? Because a lot of the things I can't do are because things are not accessible for me in the world.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's really that I want to inspire people to make change and to make the world a better place for those who live with disabilities, make it more accessible for us. And that includes all disabilities. I'm a wheelchair user and I use crutches, but make it more accessible for those who have vision impairments or hearing impairments and, cerebral palsy and autism and other invisible disabilities. And, the world of mental health is a big topic that has been brought up recently. So, I don't mind being called an inspiration. I just want to know, like, what am I inspiring you to do? That's a big thing for me.
Mm.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
but thank you again, and I'll definitely be in touch with you soon.
Yeah. And thank you so much for having me. I cannot wait to talk to you again soon. Connect with me on Facebook or on Instagram because I cannot wait because I have a feeling we just started talking.
Yes. Yes, but you take care and have a good evening.
You too. Thank you so much, Otto.
You're
Bye.
welcome. This concludes this episode of the OurView Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and on our YouTube channel. You can also follow us on all social media platforms at OurView for Life. That's OurView, the number 4, LIFE. If you have a topic or a person, or if you are a person who would like to be interviewed for an upcoming episode of the podcast, send us a DM on Instagram, send us a message on Facebook, or you can email me at ourviewforlife@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.